Well folks, Game of Thrones is coming to a cinema near you, with Aegon's Conquest announced as a feature film. At one point it was being written as a TV show, but it looks like HBO have realised if they were ever gonna make a Game of Thrones film, then Balerion the Black Dread on the big screen eclipses anything else the franchise has to offer. The largest of the Targaryen dragons deserves to be shown in IMAX in all his glory. So this is a no-brainer. A 2.5 hour movie makes much more sense for the Conquest rather than a 6-episode miniseries. It's a very one-sided affair, with Aegon the Conqueror and his sister wives conquering 6 out of the 7 kingdoms of Westeros, with only Dorne resisting the Targaryens and remaining independent of the newly formed Iron Throne. The working title is currently Game of Thrones Aegon's Conquest, and to be honest, I think that'll do. The film was announced during Warner Bros. 2027 and beyond slate at CinemaCon, but don't expect it anytime soon. I'm guessing 2029, a year after House of the Dragon concludes, and we're left with a teaser for the film. Obviously, the film will star Aegon Targaryen, first of his name, and his 2 sister wives, Visenya and Rhaenys, who ride their dragons Balerion, Vhagar, and Meraxes. From Dragonstone to the Westeros mainland, and in 2 short years, the kings of Westeros bend the knee to the dragon either by choice or through fire and blood. And with the swords of his fallen enemies, Aegon forged the Iron Throne, and the Targaryen dynasty in Westeros began. I'm not too sure how much of Aegon's early life, the Conquest, nor how long into his reign the film will cover, but I think it's safe to say the film will include Aegon's Song of Ice and Fire, first introduced in Season 1 of House of the Dragon, where the Conqueror had a dragon dream of the coming darkness from the north, and when the time comes, the living must be united under a Targaryen ruler. So expect that damn dagger to show up, and perhaps we might even physically see the White Walkers through Aegon's eyes. And I've mentioned this before, I feel the Conqueror's dream will play a massive part in the final 2 seasons of House of the Dragon, with both Rhaenyra and Aemond believing they are the chosen ones. I know some folk are concerned the Conquest won't make for the most compelling story, as it is very one-sided and lacks much of the political scheming and backstabbing that helped make Thrones what it was. And I guess the film could add some of those elements, especially between the 2 sisters. And don't forget, Aegon's succession is an extremely messy affair, but I feel that may be saved for a sequel or continued in a series on television. And my personal theory is the film will end with Aegon's rule and a TV series will pick up, focusing on his succession, the Sons of the Dragon if you like. And something else we have to consider is a 2.5 hour feature film focused on dragon action doesn't need as complex of a plot as 8 seasons of television, with multiple main characters set over 2 continents. I feel we should be going into this expecting Targaryen dominance and dragonfire. It's mostly about being a spectacle. Not every single film needs to be Shawshank Redemption, Citizen Kane, or The Godfather. And I'll be more than happy to sit back for a couple hours and watch Balerion darken the skies and unleash black flames. Smaug is still the number 1 on-screen dragon, but he may have competition with the Black Dread. Obviously we know almost nothing about this film, but no matter how good it looks, no matter how awesome the dragons are, they need to get the casting of all 3 Targaryen conquerors spot on. No, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, we want all 3 perfect. And don't try to subvert our expectations, make Aegon a wimp whilst his sisters are the real action heroes. This should be so easy, but I just don't trust Hollywood to make the right decision. We all have our fan castings for the 3. No doubt you've all seen the Henry Cavill photoshops of the Conqueror. Henry's in his early 40s, Aegon should be in his early 20s during the film, but when did that ever stop them? I honestly doubt Henry Cavill will be cast, but I wouldn't be against it. I loved him as Geralt, and I'm still bitter with how all the Witcher drama ended. If it happens, I'll be happy. If it doesn't, I'm okay with it. And because it's a film, they should have a bigger budget to splash on actors. Instead of locking them down for several seasons, which can be an issue, they only have to pay them once. So I would not be surprised if they fork out for some stars, but if they go down the lesser known actor route, that's fine. I'm sure we'll start hearing rumours very soon, and no matter what happens, it won't please everyone. Personally, I'm not stuck on any actor in particular. I just want them to find the right people for the roles and to respect the source material. And obviously get George R. R. Martin's blessing, get him on board. That shouldn't be hard to ask for, but we will see. Because it's the first Game of Thrones movie, it's going to generate a lot of buzz, but that does not guarantee success at the box office. Online interactions don't equal box office profits. This is a TV franchise, and the transition to the big screen can be challenging. And don't forget, cinemas are in a deep hole right now, with even some of the biggest blockbusters struggling to turn a profit. It's such a risky move, but I can see why Warner Bros. Want to make it now. The Conquest is the only choice, and releasing it just after House of the Dragon hopefully ends with a banger, that'll be the push the film needs. But only time will tell, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Before then, House of the Dragon needs to deliver with 2 final seasons, and Dunk and Egg needs to continue after a very strong first outing. Who would have thought we would be talking about a Game of Thrones movie after how the main series ended in 2019? Let me know your thoughts on Aegon's Conquest as a film. Let me know your casting for the 3 Targaryens. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.